Okay, let me fix my posture here. Gotta maintain a good posture. I've been very conscious of it lately. So, I have been doing intermittent dry fasting now for almost a month. I lost track. I don't track anymore. It's become such a second nature thing for me now. It's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like I don't think about it anymore. I usually do anywhere between 16 to 18. I started off doing it 22, 23. I found it too much in the beginning, so it stabilized itself on itself, by itself, to about 16 to 18 hours a day. Today's 18 and I got my lime water, which I absolutely love. And it's intermittent dry fasting is superior to intermittent water fasting. I would say significantly, actually, on so many levels, because what I found the intermittent dry fasting is helping me do is it's actually helping me deal with my addiction to consumption. Because although you don't consume, I mean, you could do like intermittent water fast 18 hours every day, and I was doing that for years, but the consumption program to grab something and consume it was so ingrained in me that I only really didn't consume while I was sleeping. Okay? So the whole time I was doing intermittent water fasting, I would consume water or some form of a drink, maybe like a fruit juice or something, up until maybe an hour before I slept. Then I would wake up 3 or 4 hours into the sleep, of course, because I've been drinking and I need to take a leak. And I'd get up and I'd take a leak and I come back, and guess what? There's the water bottle right beside me. So I grab it and I drink because I'm thirsty, because the body's detoxifying. So you wake up in the middle of the night, you're thirsty. Anytime you're thirsty, it's because your body is detoxifying or it's trying to digest some food. So I'd get up at night, 3-4 hours in, I'd drink water, I'd go back to bed, and the first thing that I do when I wake up is, this is about 2 liters, right? So I'd have it ready, about 2 liters. I drink like 1.5 liters when I wake up. So basically, I was not consuming for no more than 4 hours. Okay? No more than 4 hours. I was in a constantly perpetual state of consumption. Okay? And I'll tell you what, my kidneys were screaming for help because I could no longer feel them. But before I was feeling them a lot. They're right here, right in this area, okay, like right here, okay, and you could feel the pain in the back and in the front. And poor kidneys, man, they were working overtime. They were constantly working. And I guess, this consumption program, it's just kind of been ingrained in me, like back in the bodybuilding days. You'd hear all the gym bros talk about how important it is to drink water. And so of course, I was eating a far less than optimal diet, full of dried and cooked foods. So I was always thirsty. And so I installed that program in me that is constantly consuming something. It's also for comfort. So what intermittent dry fasting has tremendously helped me with is to deal with this addiction to consume something, to have something, to take in something via mouth, whether it's a drink or whether it's a food or something like that. And when I got into the whole fruitarian phase, eating fruits, and then I got into the juice thing, then the addiction sort of got transferred into juices. So even when I was doing the juice fast, up until an hour before sleeping, I would drink some juice, like apple juice or carrot juice or something. And then when I wake up, I'd go straight to the juicer and I'd juice me something. So I kind of took advantage that you could replace water with delicious, sweet tasting water instead. Okay. And I went to town with it. But really, the whole time I was just acting on a program that wasn't so optimal for the body, because actually the human body, dry fasting is a perfectly normal and natural thing to the human body. And many animals go on most of their day not drinking and not eating. And it's the same thing for human beings. And you will find, if you begin to do intermittent dry fasting, that it's actually incredibly easy and incredibly satisfying and incredibly fulfilling. And it will really help you deal with your addiction, with your consumption addiction, with your consumption program. And the healing that happens, the detoxification that happens, is up to 3 times as effective as a water fast. They say that a dry fast, 1 day of dry fasting is equivalent to 1 day of water fasting. It may be a little bit too much, but I can tell you for certainty that it is at least twice as effective. Doing an 18-hour dry fast is twice as effective as an 18-hour water fast. Twice as effective, at least maybe 3 times. Okay? It's incredible on so many levels. For me, the most incredible benefit is this consumption program. Now for me, it's second nature not to consume for 18 hours. It's like, it's just second nature. I actually don't think about it anymore. Around sunset, the consumption program stops and it doesn't kick back in until about noon. It's about noon now. It's about 12 o'clock maybe. Looking at the sun, it's mid-noon. Mid-noon. This is a mid-noon sun. It's just like second nature, and I just love it. It's like, I just love it. And also, I sleep longer without having to wake up and go to the bathroom. Because if I stop the consumption early enough, and if I haven't been even consuming too much, then by the time I go to bed, I don't have the urge to go and take a leak, and sometimes I won't wake up. Last night I didn't wake up. It was just a straight 7-hour sleep. Other nights I'd wake up, especially if I gone past the deadline of the sunset, which I sometimes do, then I'll wake up in the middle of the night to take a leak. Otherwise, you could experience continuous sleep without having to wake up, which is incredible. So you get better quality sleep. And again, that energy liberation for 18 hours, not having to think not even about water. Now, if you got on the juices, you're even spoiled, because then you could be there and it's like, it's nighttime and you're like, man, I want some apple juice would be nice right now, or some grape juice, which is what I did when I was doing the juice fasting, because I was still having this addiction in me to consume something. Now, your kidneys are, again, my kidneys were absolutely overworked. And so I was chronically inflamed in this area. When I started doing the intermittent dry fasting, the inflammation, like you can see right now, it's just like pure shreddedness. It's like there is nothing in here anymore. The inflammation that I had, the chronic inflammation that I had, even during my juice fast, by the way, because I was consuming so many liquids when I was doing the juice fast. The juice fasting was really beneficial for my intestines because there was no solid foods for 21 days. But because I was consuming 5-6 liters of fluids every day, I really took advantage of it. Like the fact that, you could just drink as much juice as you want. I was really taking advantage of it because, again, I was dealing with boredom, and I didn't have my mission very clear to me. And so I was dealing with boredom. I was sick and tired of being in Canada. I really wanted to leave. So when I was doing the juice fast, to suppress my emotions, to suppress my boredom, to suppress my frustration, I really got excited about the juice fast, and I just kept juicing and I kept drinking. And even because I wanted to drink so much, because I just was so bored, I would mix it up. I'd get a watermelon and I'd juice it. I'd get grapes and I'd juice them. And then if I'd just go buy like bottled apple juice, or something. So it was like I was really addicted. It was just the addiction to consume. And ever since I started doing the intermittent dry fasting, it's really been helping me deal with this. So now I've got about a 6-hour consumption window, which consists of consuming lime water and okay, we got cut off by a call. So right now I get a 6-hour consumption window, lime water, some fruits, maybe some juice, some mango juice or some watermelon juice. But it's limited. It's 6 hours, That's it. It's just 6 hours. So the energy, the amount of energy conserved, the amount of mental energy liberated in those other 18 hours to just not have to consume, not have to think about anything to consume. It's quite liberating, and it's great to see that day by day I'm less thirsty when I wake up because there's less mucus, especially now that I got on the fruits, which are hydrating. So it's amazing to see that day by day. It's also got to do with the adaptability of the body, because the body begins to dig into its own water supply. It's got its own water supply, so it begins to dig into it. Before, I never gave my body a chance to do that. Never. Like never gave my body the chance to actually dig into it, because again, the most I would go without drinking or consuming something was 4 hours. And like I said, my kidneys were screaming. But the peace and the calm and the serenity that I have been feeling as of late with all the organs here, this area was inflamed. This area was like chronically inflamed because I was in a chronically consumption program, consumption habit. And now it's like, poof, it's flat. It feels calm, feels nice. The organs are getting a break every day, 18 hours. Every day they're just getting a break. The whole system's getting a break. Nothing's happening there. So it's incredible. Obviously, moving forward, as I continue to hydrate the body more and get rid of more mucus, then I will even extend the dry fasting. My aim is to dry fast for 22 hours and do it comfortably. And so that's why I'm in the phase now of hydrating the body and just getting on those fruits and getting more detoxification happening day by day, less mucus, and then ultimately just consume once a day for maybe a 2-hour period and do it comfortably. Right now I'm comfortable. I'm not thirsty. You see, in the early stages of it, I was thirsty. I was thirsty because I had a lot of mucus. This was a new thing. My body has come from this place where it literally doesn't go on for more than 4 hours without consuming water or juice or food or something. It's gone from that to 18 hours. So in the early stages of it, I was thirsty, but I was doing it. But now, as there's less mucus in my body, and as the body now is becoming more adapted at reaching its own water, which is like 80%, your body's like 70 to 90% water, right? So your body's all water, right? So the body's now beginning to adapt more at grabbing its own water. So I feel less thirst. There's less mucus in the body day by day. I'd like to push it even further. I'd like to go like a dry fasting OMAD, where you go for the whole day, you're not consuming anything, then you consume some fruits, some juices, some smoothies, and then you go on. So I highly recommend you begin to implement it. And I would start just at 12 hours. Okay, I would start just 12 hours. I would do that for a week, then I would do 14 hours for another week, then I would do 16 for the third week, and then you go on from there. You get the gist of it. I would start with 12. Okay, you want to be comfortable the whole way, you want to be having fun the whole way, and it's highly rewarding. So yeah, that's my experience. All right, I'm gonna have to end this video. I will see you guys later.